Hello, I'm Sean Watkins.
And I am Pete Harper. Welcome to Before Your Very Ears, the podcast where we sit down with some of our favorite songwriters, set up a few mics, and write a song.
Yep. Our only rule is that by the end, we have to have a completed song. You know, there's a pretty big difference between talking about the songwriting process and actually doing it. And so that's what we want to show you here. The nuts and bolts, all the sausage making, etc.
Before Your Very Ears! Hey, everybody. Welcome. This week our guests, actually.
Yeah, first time.
First time are the Milk Carton Kids.
Joey and Kenneth are, they've been, I met them maybe 2012, maybe somewhere around there. They were playing around LA and they were playing folk music together. And that's a rare thing. I think I met them through my friend Tom Brousseau, and they've become good friends of ours. And Pete, you met them. How did you meet them?
Yeah, I met Joey. I think my band played shows with Joey maybe like in 2008.
Wow,
Something
so
pre Milk Carton Kids.
Wow.
Maybe somewhere around there. But the Milk Carton Kids did not exist yet. And then Kenneth not that long afterwards, I guess. But that was after they had become the Milk Carton Kids. But I've known them for quite a long time too.
Yeah, they're so, for those of you that that know them and have seen shows, there's no one quite like them, and their dynamic is so funny and interesting, and it's evolved over the years, and it's really fun. But one of the things I personally love about this podcast is getting to sit down and, I mean, to do something creative with people that we've known for a while, but have never worked with in this way, writing a song.
Totally.
Which is a very, it just opens a new door in a friendship. When you're able to be creative with them, it's a whole unexplored area.
Yeah. Totally. And it's exciting to be doing that in an environment with guys like that, because it's like, well, they don't sit down and write songs with people. They're two of them.
Yeah.
They got it covered, you know?
They have it covered.
But getting into it with them and watching them interact and having like a full other dynamic in the room is really cool.
Yeah, because a lot of times when it's you and me and one other person, it's that other person stepping into our dynamic. Yeah. And so they're kind of trying to figure out what they're, doing sometimes. But this time it was getting to like peek through a little door into how they work, and it was fascinating for me.
Yeah, super cool.
They've been they're multi-Grammy nominated kind of folk heroes at this point, and they've evolved. Their sound has evolved, and there's really no one who sounds like them at this point, and they are just also incredibly funny and smart people.
So funny. Yeah, and if you haven't seen them on stage, it's great. They look great. Their timing is absolutely fantastic. And you just never know exactly what's going to happen, and neither do they. Yeah. And that's really what makes it tick, I think, is everyone's in that same place.
There's equal parts of they've thought everything through, like in terms of like how they look and aesthetically, and the equal parts like what's going to happen.
Yep.
And I love that.
The element of danger, always good.
Yeah.
All right, so here we have Joey, Ryan, and Kenneth Pattengale, the Milk Carton Kids.
But first, real quick, a word from our sponsor.
Hello. Have you ever heard a chord progression and thought, wow, I like that? Or a sticky melody or a life-affirming lyric and thought, wow, I like that. And then thought, I want to learn how to do that. Berklee Online can take you there.
Berklee Online offers more than 250 courses. That's a lot of courses.
So many.
Many in songwriting with the same teachings and the same teachers as the renowned Berklee College of Music in Boston. Yeah, that one. Heard of it?
But you can learn from anywhere. Plus, it's a fraction of the cost.
Visit bol.education for a free sample lesson.
Use the code SONG for a 10% discount on your first non-degree course.
Pete, I love your pronunciation of song. It was very McCartney-esque.
Thank you.
But I digress. Folks, visit bol.education. Learn music with Berklee from anywhere.
Here we are in Highland Park, up upon a hill. Willow's sleeping in the other room,
And Dawn is feeling ill.
We're just four guys in a
Four
room,
guys in a room.
making up our minds.
Guys, you guys really want to get out.
Oh, we're having a hell of a time.
Do you guys jam a lot?
This is the most we've jammed in years.
I ask as someone who was in like a basically folk duo for a long time, because there were years of jamming a lot, and then like the years of the jamming just kind of went away. I guess maybe it was because it was like if you're like on a bench somewhere in northern England with nothing to do.
Well, it's kind of the
You
romance.
jam?
It's like the early romance time, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you're describing my marriage.
Honey, why don't we jam anymore?
Yeah, the jamming is over.
Remember how we used to jam all the time?
Now it's always like on a schedule.
Yeah.
It's only when it's showtime.
This is the beginning of every podcast where we sit here and we just sort of awkwardly say, "What are we going to write a song about?" But I do like that question, like about the question about jamming, because sometimes I see people. It's like the same thing as practicing. I see people practicing. You're like, we're in this kind of in the same similar bluegrass folk scene, and you see like people practicing at festivals, and you think, man, I should practice more. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Don't you think there's just two kind of people though? Isn't it just two kind of people? Like
Practicers and non-practicers.
yeah, like remember that time we had that show? We did a group show at Largo, like one of our first ones, probably a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before. Now we know to really prioritize, like, oh, that's a time where you can see and visit a little bit with your friends, and there's lots of music, and it's good to, but it like fills up your cup socially.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great lineup of all these people, and someone secured Taylor Goldsmith from Dawes to come be a part, who we didn't know super well, but we knew a little bit.
I like the word secured.
Yes.
Like we had a contract.
They booked him.
Procured.
He was booked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Taylor showed up for like a 5 p.m. sound check. We're like, whoa, Taylor's taking this like kind of not serious show super seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up and did it, and then like everybody dispersed to hang out and go get dinner and whatever. And Taylor just sat on a chair backstage and played guitar for 4 hours until the show, like writing a song to himself. And I was like, oh, Taylor's one of those guys. Just he's always going to play guitar for his entire life. That's what he does. I come home from tour and I don't touch the guitar for 2 months. I'm the other kind of person, you know?
I do think there are two different, either the practice, like, I mean, maybe it's like a meditation. It's like if you, like, this is something you do, and if you're doing it all the time, you feel good, and if you're not, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I kind of just am resigned to feeling sort of bad all the time, just a little bit bad. And then sometimes I feel better when I play music, and sometimes I feel worse.
Right.
But like that depends what happens when I pick it up.
Right.
But like I don't.
For other people, it's always making them feel better, maybe.
Maybe, or it's something like they're. I mean, I guess it's work ethic.
Could be a compulsion.
That setup means that there's a third person out there, though, which is somebody who picks up the instrument and it always makes them feel worse, and they always do it.
Yes, which I think is that's a thing.
There might be that person.
That's a thing too.
And maybe more in the classical world.
Definitely in the classical world, there's a practice. It's almost like a masochistic, like beat yourself up by practicing as much. Like it's almost it's like. It feels good to do something really hard. You know,
well, that's what we're trying to avoid by never practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what I always see.
That's why I never
your
practice,
Nickel Creek bandmate, I always see on the internet, his wife's posting pictures of Chris like practicing the mandolin on the shitter.
Yeah.
Constantly. And I'm like, that is a sacred boundary that has been crossed.
I did not see that post, but
I feel like it's constant. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm making something up.
No.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
no, it's inspiring.
I think
mean,
some of us see what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that he's working so hard that he doesn't have time to even take a crap in peace. So he's got to sit there practicing those notes.
it's I was telling him the other night. So we've been on tour this whole all of last year, 2023, and there's this thing that used to happen all the time. It still happens, which is we play the show, we get on the bus, we have like after show food, and like make a cocktail or two, and then we'll hang out, and usually everyone goes to bed like around midnight or 1. And at that point, Chris goes in the back lounge and plays for like 2 hours, and we'll like like whatever he's working on, whatever project. And I used to go to bed. I always sleep with my head towards the back lounge. If you're walking down the bus, it's the back. It's the driver's side, back
So if you
middle.
crash, you break your ankles and not your neck.
Exactly. Well, always gonna lay that way. Yeah. Do you lay with your head going forward?
No.
No. But what exactly are you talking about
No,
now?
what I'm saying is my
Yes.
head is right on the other side of the wall. Between my ears and my head and him practicing is one small wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for years, like in the early 2000s, we were driving around and after shows, every night he'd be back there playing, and it's beautiful. He'd be like playing Bach and amazing stuff. But part of me was like, man, I should be doing that. What?
Right.
This is like, and it was never anything like annoying at all. It was always like, this is so cool and inspiring. And so, but this year, this last tour, I've been kind of leaning into it, and I'll just go back there, and there's something like really nostalgic about it. I'll just go back there and watch for like 20 minutes or something.
Oh,
it's gonna be in
that's
it,
sweet.
and it's really sweet. It's really cool, and
I was gonna say, after all that, can you only fall asleep if you have like a small soundtrack of?
no, I can fall asleep. The memory of it is in there.
Yeah, beautiful.
It is beautiful. The thing to me about that it brings to mind is the thing that I keep trying to impress upon my kids, which is that the point of music, of learning music, is that it's a language. And it's obviously like one of the universal languages in a way that, if you achieve a certain level of fluency in it, you can go anywhere and meet anyone on planet Earth. And if they also speak the language, you can bond in a pretty deep and meaningful way, with speaking to each other in that language. And, especially when you achieve like levels of mastery over it, then when you meet someone else that's kind of can converse with you on that level of fluency, it's like a really special thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't really operate at that level, obviously, but I've been around a lot of you people that do.
What are you talking about?
And it's a really inspiring thing. And so that's what it makes me think. That's what that makes me think of.
It's one of the first festivals that I remember we hung out. Me and you and Joey and Kenneth was at
Gosa, right? Four
what's that?
Corners. Is that it?
Oh, right. Yeah, that would have been in like
Maybe 2014.
2014. Okay, yeah.
Could be.
Yep. But then also the Winnipeg Folk Festival.
Yeah.
I remember we hung out there. We went out to dinner at some fancy place. Me, you, and my sister. You guys and my sister. And then Kayamo was also right around that time. Got on a boat.
Yeah, that's
around
probably where we. Yeah.
That was a real concentrated time.
Yeah.
So that's like 7 days on a boat.
Yeah.
Out in the Caribbean. For those of you listening, the Kayamo Cruise is it's like basically an Americana music festival that happens on this boat once a year, and it's really great. It's a bunch of people who know each other, and
everybody tempts their luck against the rotonorovirus.
Yeah.
Let's see who gets out alive.
Yeah. It really is.
Who gets the bunk avocado and suffers.
Gosh.
I think that's why I was asking if you guys jam too, because it's like there's something that happens like one way with cats like you who can just basically start playing and a song comes out.
Yeah.
It's like, what happens if we just jam? And because like what happens if there's no thought at all put into what happens and we just jam? Like what what languages come out.
Well, like, did you ever write an instrumental song on this podcast?
No, we haven't.
Because honestly, we could just, the four of us, start playing right now, and we could wrap this baby up in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think 15. I think we maybe need 7.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be 3 minutes, but while we're, we might as well stretch out a little bit. But,
yeah, right.
It begs the question, in that paradigm, like when you're talking about jamming and spontaneous inspiration, it begs the question of, well, what is a song?
Yeah.
And what is that language? Because, to me, that pure act of making music that way is going to be, on the whole, much more successful than if somebody were doing that with words. If we were just jamming with words, if one of us didn't have a guitar and they were tasked with, like, joining the jam with words, that might turn out a little different. I think, 9 times out of 10, it's going to turn out not as well.
This is a great example of one of the big creative dichotomies between Kenneth and me, which is, like, to me, when someone says, let's write a song, I'm like, just instinctively, I'm thinking about lyrics. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, like, that means lyrics. That means what do I want to write about? Or not even what it does, because you don't have to set your intention in that way at the beginning. Like, sometimes it's free associative and, just letting ideas flow and then seeing what happens in a sort of linguistic or lyrical jamming kind of a way. But to me, it means lyrics. So when Kenneth says, what if we just wrote an instrumental, my brain goes, oh, right, that's a song too.
Right.
Songs can also not have words. Like
that's the universal language part of it too, right?
Exactly. And like all classical music for hundreds of years, other than opera, I suppose, but like, obviously music doesn't have to have lyrics, but just the reason why I got into it and the thing I like about it and the thing I relate to, I would say the most about it, is always the lyrics. And so that's where my mind goes to first. And Kenneth, I think, is different. Like, and that's one of the big things of us working together is Kenneth happens to also be an amazing lyricist, but like I am only thinking about words pretty much. And Kenneth is thinking about music more, both of them, but I would say music even more.
I'm just curious, like, I know you guys probably get asked this a lot, but like, what does it look like? What does it look like when you guys need to write a song or when you want to write a song? Is there a particular way that it happens? I know you're saying that, Kenneth, you are more I mean, you're both great lyric writers, obviously, but Joey, you were just saying that Kenneth focuses more on the instrumental side to start, and you lyrics. Do you guys tend to like play those roles to start? Like, does that sort of end up being the starting point?
Well, one big thing that'll happen if it's a song, usually we'll start songs separately from each other and then work on them together. When the one thing that happens a lot if it's a song that I've started is Kenneth will come in and say, what happens if the chords did this instead and the melody did this instead, or you repeated that line or whatever, and like just really fleshes out or like improves, I would say, the like melodic and harmonic and chordal structure of whatever my thing was, because my idea is always just basically focused on the lyrics. And if I feel like I've written 2 good verses and a chorus, I'm like, I conquered the world, and it doesn't even, you could set that to any kind of music and I'd be happy.
Yeah.
And so we have really similar tastes on what we think is good. So Kenneth comes in and goes, oh, it should be this chord and the melody should go here. And I'm like, yeah, that is even better.
But in that taste thing that's the linchpin.
Exactly.
I remember I was in London
a
few years ago, and Nile Rodgers was doing this thing where he like presenting it, like playing like Let's Dance, like the demo version, like David Bowie's demo version, and it's just like 2 chords, like 3 chords. It's just like a folk song, which is like, yeah, it's true. You can, the meat of something you can turn into anything, and that is its own like. Some people love that and some people just don't care. I'm someone who started not caring at all. I was like, this is a song, it's done, because the emotional content's in there. And then like over time I've been like, oh, okay, I need another color, or I need another thing, like to make the words feel like they make sense. But then I was talking about this in a session yesterday. It's like what oftentimes like younger, or like, I guess maybe not younger, but people at a point in their career, they feel like they want a song that's going to make an impact, like a hit song, you know, which it's like, it's great if you write a song that's a hit, but there's like a point in people's career, I think, where they're like, I need to do this so that there's a song that's the song. And it's like, people can get really stuck in what that means in terms of the form or the style, which is like, in my view, like, as long as the song is presented in the right form, that's fine. Like, you can't put a song in a different genre without changing the way the song is constructed and have it still work. If the song makes sense with itself, that's cool. But like Born to Run is an amazing example of that. It's like, what's the chorus of Born to Run? It's like, it's either the words Born to Run, or it's actually just that melody. And it probably is the melody. Like, if you're like, because there are a million words in that song. No one, like, except for the hundreds of thousands of people who know all of the words. Right. People don't know any of the words. Yeah. You know? And I think that's kind of I think that's an interesting thing to feel like, okay, what you guys get together on is like the form. You want the form to feel a certain way. That
Sean, we're talking about a guy called Bruce Springsteen. He wrote a number of songs.
Is he not bluegrass guy?
He's
not a bluegrass guy, Sean. You wouldn't know. Well,
you know, I think I've never heard Born to Run.
Yeah,
is that possible?
No, your favorite thing is to say that you've never heard a song that everybody has heard, and it's like,
well,
I've
no,
been
like
at
on the way
restaurants
over
when
here,
when it's playing over the overhead
Listen,
speakers. I get that you've never sat down and listened to it.
On the way driving over here, I was listening to Dancing Queen.
Yeah. ABBA.
Yeah, and I was like, I know this chorus, and then I heard the verses. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard this before. And then I figured I've definitely never like dropped the needle on Dancing Queen. I did that for the first time this morning. I'm sure I've heard the chorus through popular culture, like whatever, but never heard the verses. And just between me and you and your audience, I've never pressed play on a Bruce Springsteen album because it's just not my thing.
Right.
And I don't think I've ever heard Born to Run.
Well, here,
or maybe I have. Maybe if you played it for me, I'd be like, "Oh, that song, cool."
I kind of like a lot of that stuff growing up got to me through osmosis. I guess maybe that's the right word. Like bluegrass people covering them. Like, that's how I heard all the Bob Dylan stuff for the first time. Yeah.
Like
Tim O'Brien and Tony Rice did a bunch of them, and he'd also do Gordon Lightfoot and Randy Newman, and that's where I noticed like things breaking through. I was like, oh, they're talking about different things. There's like more nuance. They're talking about stuff that isn't referenced in the music that I'm listening to now that's older. And I mean, this is me at like 12, 13, 14. And then at a certain point it breaks through. But some of those artists, like, you have, when you're younger, you might not be like someone like Springsteen. At a certain age, you might not, depending on what album you hear too, it might not grab you, and then you might just write it off and be like, this is not for me, and then that will stick with you for a long time. This happens to me all the time. It happened to me all the time. And then like fast forward to like 10 years later, and you're like, why do I not like this? It's actually great, know, because I'm at a different point in my life and I can appreciate it for, different things. Yeah. And the good thing about that is you have all this stuff that you haven't listened to that you can dive into, I mean, even just within like one artist, like I ignored like 2 decades of Bob Dylan stuff for a long time until recently when I'd worn out all the other stuff and I was like, all right, let's get into the 80s.
Brave man. Yeah.
Let's do those Christian
albums.
I
don't want to, but it's time.
Empire Burlesque. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, Tim O'Brien wasn't covering this.
Well, but that's part of that of saying it, which is like, I think one of the things is musicians, we sort of like maybe subconsciously protect ourselves as being like, okay, that's not an influence. Like, I don't know it, so it's not getting in. It's like if you're trying to, which I think people function in different ways. Some people can just ingest without it influencing them. But it's like, I think we've all had that experience of being like, the first time I really listened to like Burt Bacharach, I was like, okay, this has now influenced me. I can't unhear this because it has something in it. And there's some things where I'm like, I feel the way about music sometimes. I'm like, I actually just don't want to hear this. I don't want this to even be in my consciousness of what music sounds like. And Bruce was like that for me for a long time. I heard it and I was like, he's yelling. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then same thing, like a cover will open it up or something where I'm like, oh, the song here is amazing. It just didn't speak to me then. And then I come around and I'm like, oh, I get you doing it that way now that you are the person that wrote that song or whatever that is.
You know, I mean, Springsteen, our mutual friend, I think we probably all know her, Aoife O'Donovan, she's doing a lot of shows, and she did a covers. I think she did a whole covers album of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And
that's an entry point for a lot of people.
Yeah, and the way that she does these songs really, I mean, reopened me up to it. You know, I mean, I'd heard the album a long time ago and listened to it at a time when I was like, I can appreciate this, but it's not my thing right now. But listening to her versions, it's like you're hearing them kind of for the first time. And I'm actually listening to the words, and like we did a show with her at Newport Folk Festival where she played all of them, all the songs, and we were on one of the songs. And so I'm like actually having to to learn lyrics. It was that one about the guy who
He's like blue collar guy.
Yeah, blue collar.
Blue collar. Yeah.
Wild guess.
Real rootsy blue collar.
He's just just trying to get by.
Yeah.
You know, he's been under the thumb of the man.
Yeah.
So he robs a liquor store. I think he shoots the guy.
Dang.
And then he goes to jail, and he's telling the judge. It's a little bit confusing as to whether or not we're supposed to be sympathizing for this guy. Doesn't matter. It's a great song.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. It's like that's his lived experience. It's like that story is probably a story that he experienced from where he came from. So it's like cool. Like if we wrote a song like that, it would be garbage.
Yeah.
If the four of us tried to write a song about like a guy down on his luck somewhere in like North Jersey that ends up in prison, like that would be
Well, now we have to try and write a Springsteen song.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to. So, okay. Here are, I think our fallback, or the thing we could do, that we could definitely do is write we could start with a song that's more instrumentally focused and have the lyrics be secondary. But I also have I like to do this sometimes, which is
Keep doing that.
Was our own song that we already wrote?
No wonder it sounded good.
what's that?
All right. I didn't recognize it.
Yeah. That's because you didn't write any of it. You just took 50% of the credit.
Well, I didn't sing on it either. So that's
right there. Therein lies the rub.
That's my genius.
Yeah.
He actually took a nap to the writing of that song.
I love that.
Oh, it's
actually true.
That's a song called "Sing Sparrow Sing," and it is great to fall asleep to.
Joey literally endeavored a nap to it while we were writing.
When you were like, I got one.
Yeah, he was like, "What next?"
I
and
was
like, "How about
this?"
this?"
I was in Nashville. We were at Kenneth's house for a week-long writing trip, and the thread that was being pulled that day was Kenneth was working on this "Sing Sparrow Sing" song, and it sounded what?
No, I just improvised it on the spot. We were at a dead end.
Yeah,
like,
and
what's next? And I was like, "How about?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect. I'm not gonna get in the way of that. I'm gonna take a nap,
catch some Z's."
Yeah.
So
sometimes you got to get out of the way.
I actually,
there's a song.
Sometimes you got to get out of the way. That's definitely true. I mean, like, it's very easy to want to impose yourself because you feel like you're supposed to, and sometimes that's
Watch me get out of the way.
the last thing. There you go. Yeah.
What do you think he should have done when it came time to assigning publishing splits?
I love I mean, I don't know if there's anything in this, but like when you said like sometimes you got to get out of the way, I like that that idea, that sentiment in life. It sounded like when you first started playing that, the like A section was like this part. Is that right?
Sure, yeah.
But then like as we were playing it, I kind of felt like when he was singing the other B section that you were playing, starting on that 2 chord, could be the.
It's kind of the A section,
Yeah.
and this thing is more. But also, yeah, as that happens in my mind, it sort of shuffles out to. Oh, that first thing is the chorus, but starts with the chorus.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Or it's sort of like
Or
both.
it's like home
where
base,
It's,
yeah,
it's
or
like
something.
the chorus
Yeah.
is maybe just like the tag that throws you back into the verse.
Yeah, something like that.
You know.
It made some sense because I just obviously just started playing something, but then I love the thing that well, we're in different keys here from Cape. What is this, G?
Yeah, we're in G.
So I just like the idea that the way the A minor functions in that first section is that then taking the A minor and using that as like
Yes.
the departure point in the next section. It's like it feels like a chord that you wouldn't go back to a lot.
Yeah.
In a song that sounds like this, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, keep sort of like boomeranging around that A minor.
Totally.
It's also fun to like have there be a whole part of a song where you don't play the fundamental, like
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
2-5 and then 2-5.
Yes.
It may be that. I mean, it feels it's got that kind of AABA thing too. So maybe when it comes back, like Joey's whatever that kind of like.
Yeah, maybe it's an instrumental refrain and
Yeah. And if you want to say it again, you know, you can.
Oh, the lyric guy's here back. He's back. You finished checking your email? I got another correspondence from the President Biden campaign. I got a flashback to all the email that came.
Joey, we really need you today. Just $5 if you can send it to our campaign. I wasn't checking my email.
But you did write some things down, huh?
Yeah, but you guys kind of started going different places, which are also cool, and I have no idea how this fits in with any of it.
Oh, great.
But I just started trying to paint like the specific picture of Kenneth writing a song and me going to sleep during it.
How's that?
What?
How's that?
You start to sing a song I never heard before. I close my eyes. I want to hear you sing some more. I love how you sound. I love what you say when I get out of the way.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Can I throw one?
And I thought that it might fit with
Great.
the way that the chords were happening in those 2 sections, but I don't know because I wasn't really singing it in my head as I was writing them down.
Can we got a garbage truck, folks. It's just amazing to live in a time when once a week a person comes by your house and takes your garbage away.
It's
Pretty
true.
great.
You could put anything in there.
I know.
I mean, within reason. No body parts or batteries.
Do you
but
think people get rid of bodies that way?
Definitely.
Totally, yeah.
Small
I mean,
pieces
like-
of bodies. Just
Yeah, like
take
how
it.
can you can't really? Gosh, okay, that's a
Yeah, I don't do that.
topic.
I don't do that anymore, but it is a viable way to get rid of a body.
Those are beautiful lyrics, Joey.
Yeah, they are.
And I think the second verse could be about how I'm excited about this new song coming into my life and how much money I'm gonna make off of it, despite not having done anything to create it. Maybe that could be it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
just singing the virtues of non-participation.
Collaboration, as we call it. Non-participatory collaboration.
That's some Jedi shit right
It's
there.
a new term.
I love it. So great.
Do you want to sing through a little bit of it, see how it falls?
Sing.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
have
look
a
at
super like primary colors bit kind of a way to put it together, I think.
Cool.
That might not sound like anything other, but it could be a first draft.
Cool.
You start to sing a song I never heard before. I close my eyes. I want to hear you sing some more. I love the way you sound. I love the words you say. Oops, that was supposed to go quicker. Love what you say when I get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's a really nice. I love when you say "when I get out of the way" is a nice tag.
So great.
That was what it was meant
That's
to
really-
be. I love you. I love the way you sound. And then I love what you say when I get out of the way. And then basically repeat it, because you hit the set, you go down on the 7,
right.
and there's no singing over it. And then you over the 2-5-1 again, you just repeat those lines or something.
Right.
Anyway, you said it didn't have to be a good song, right?
This is great. I love this. This is a perfect starting point. Yeah, check it out.
The way that you sound when I get out of the way.
Yeah, and that's just the last. Yeah.
It's actually
Just-
better the way that Kenneth just misheard it, which also happens with us sometimes.
How's that?
You said, I love the way that you sound when I get out of the way, which was different from what I had, but which I like better.
What did you have?
I love the way that you sound. I love what you say when I get out of the way.
What? Okay, so how
It's
about
not,
this?
I love the way that you sound when I get out of the way. It's a little more.
Ah.
I was just thinking how delightful it is. Something that sounds like a love song, but it's between band members, especially you two. You know, like it's
Well,
so.
but one thing I definitely notice about myself in my own process is I love taking a sort of kernel of autobiographical truth or of an event or a little scene or window or experience or something that's real.
Yeah.
And then starting, like literally, like the first line of a song will be specifically about that. And then it just takes you somewhere else, and you're like, okay, now it's not about that anymore.
Yeah.
Which is why then it makes it so hard to answer the question of what the song is about.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, if this ends up being the song, is this about Kenneth writing "Sing Sparrow Sing" while I took a nap?
Right.
No,
No,
it's not.
no, but yes, it is.
Right. It's
Which is like, but that's. I feel like that's kind
about is the wrong word, I
It's
guess.
just a knife to the chest.
of.
It's just a dagger, a re-aggression. It's
See, but probably
it's a
like
doubling down.
the stage the
Flagrant
introduction to this
doubling down.
the introduction to this song on stage becomes this is a song about publishing rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, a song that's about something, like you're basically working into the archetype of what the feeling is, and it
Exactly.
means anything you throw into that hopper is going to have that same meaning.
Yeah.
And it's like letting go of it being about a specific
Yeah.
thing actually helps you find the whole meaning, and you don't
Yeah.
even know what the fuck you're talking about.
And then what I also find I love doing is then like second verse, like by the time you get to the second verse, maybe you've thought of another thing in your life or experience you've had which feels similar, and then the second verse is about that.
Yeah.
And it feels the same because they were the same experience. They tapped into that same archetype or feeling.
Totally.
Yeah, you're
And
pulling
now
the
you've
same.
got different imagery, and that. So then now it's like, what's the song about? It's like, well, it's about, I don't know, generosity.
Yeah.
It's about altruism.
Yeah, and it's about
And then
it's also
love.
about like the peace of like you not doing anything and things going okay.
Right.
Instead of, like in a relationship, Like a romantic relationship is like, okay, I can actually do nothing, and that's better is like one of the most relaxing things in the entire world if you feel that way.
And like for me now, I also start thinking about this theme as like a father, where, and especially with small kids, the instinct is to be, you know, you want to be protective and in control of them, and as they get older, you have to get out of the way. Yeah. And then you there's these really amazing things that happen with the kids at a certain age when they start to come into their own, where they do these amazing, beautiful, unpredictable things that never would have happened if you were micromanaging them and telling them what to do all the time, or even correcting them all the time. You know, you just kind of let them find their way, and they come up with things you never would have expected.
Yeah, but I mean that's so applicable to so many areas of life. It's putting your ego aside.
Yeah. You know what a cool thing about this podcast could be? Like a song gets to a certain point, and there's like I feel like right now is there's like when you're writing a song, it gets to a junction point. Yeah. And like a bunch of different decisions are going to get made in the next couple of minutes about which way it goes. Yep. And like if there's other songwriters listening, they could take the song from this point and do the other thing.
Choose your own adventure.
That's a great idea, yeah.
Because like we're in a room with 4 people right now, and we probably all have a different idea about what the next thing that has to happen is. Yeah. And if you're listening, you could go, yeah, this is pretty cool. I think it should do this. And then we're going to do something different on this podcast. And that person's going to be pissed off and be like, oh, they fucking missed it. Yeah. It was there and
there's
they missed it.
And there's a good chance that they're right. Like someone out there has a better idea probably than the 4 ideas here. Right. But they're not here, so...
Yeah, so finish it your way and send it in.
Hello. Are you interested in learning songwriting? You very well may be, since you're listening to this podcast. How about trying Berklee Online?
It's the renowned curriculum of Berklee College of Music, but you can learn from anywhere. You don't have to be in Boston. Boston's a lovely place, but not everyone can live in Boston. At least all at the same time. It's just not possible, Pete.
It is not, Sean, that's right. But Berklee Online offers more than 250 music courses, many in songwriting.
Visit bol.education to try a free sample lesson.
When you're ready to sign up, you'll receive a 10% discount on your first non-degree course or certificate with the coupon code SONG.
I'll tell you what, I'm loving how much sense that discount code makes.
Song.
But folks, go to bol.education.
On the internet.
Right now, just do it. Where you can learn music with Berklee from anywhere.
I'm wondering if for that second section, so we could either get at that B section and kind of like figure out exactly how it falls through, or we could just write a second verse because we kind of know generally what's happening. And see if that informs what that section is. Yeah. Because I don't know if we want to limit the content to like whatever. Because it's like diving deeper into like I love the like image of this one person doing this thing might not be interesting. There's probably like a more abstract, interesting way to just like get at a feeling thing without limiting what we're gonna say.
So you just want to hear it the way it kind of.
I'll defer to you guys because I'm a cart before the horse kind of guy, and I just want to make that melody pretty. But then if we do that, then we'll get to the second verse and have no words.
No, but we should.
Let's make the melody pretty, and then not worry about the words. If they come, they come. I think.
So let me do this thing that I said was the primary colors way in my brain, and then you'll do your thing to it that turns it more baroque usually. Baroque gives it more shape
for the sir and madams out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You start to sing. A song I never heard before. I close my eyes. I wanna hear you sing some more. I love the notes you playing. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Oh, we're not quite there yet.
I know. Cool. Well, that was just the original thing, and before, and then you guys were adding more stuff in that B section, which I think is all great musically. I just
it was always there. But
that's cool. The short way, I like it.
No, I mean that's the interesting. No,
because then you hit the 7 chord after that, and you repeat those 2 lines. So.
No, I think what everybody just heard you do is just edit that line out on the first pass. So the beginning of the song is just the simpler two things.
Oh, you're here.
That's like the walk down through the 7, whereas I always envision it as a part of that whole thing to get out of the way. What Joey just did, which I think is cool, is take that away, and that can just be a moment that we can tap into whenever we need something different from this nice little tableau that's come up. Because that's I always find about music, and especially songs, like was expressed earlier. Often you feel like if you've got the 2 verses in a chorus, you're like 9/10 of the way there and you're cool. Whereas to me, making music and songs is actually not about 2 verses in a chorus. It's like a thing starts and then there's a series of small events, and at the end of it, it's over.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, whether or not it's in the writing or the recording or the production or whatever, those little small things like need to bring you along.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so in that spirit, I'd say we throw that little walk down into a bucket of we can tap into that when we need a new something to drag you along, but that this nice 2 little couplets is
My
just
only thing about
verse
that
and
is
chorus.
I don't know what a tableau is.
I gotta admit, I don't either.
Pete?
Yeah, I could take this one.
Is it a
Yeah.
small drum?
Yeah, like it's like
What's
a
the
tabla,
difference
but it's
between
small.
a tabla and
French
a tableau?
drum.
It's just,
Is it the feminine
exactly.
for-
It's just a French
the
tabla.
small
Yeah, tableau.
Is it just an annoying French way of pronouncing the word table? Table.
I think that maybe what's the best way to describe a tableau? It's more like a. It's like a.
I like you're throwing it back to. I don't know. Like, what's the best way you
how would
describe it?
describe it? No,
I know what it is, but you go. You.
It's I don't know the etymology of the word, but like
Uh-huh.
it's like the scenery. It's like it's the like a canvas is the feeling of a tableau. If that
Is
makes
that what
sense.
you meant?
Kenneth, would you define it for us, please?
Yeah, I meant like the stage that was set.
Stage that was
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's possible I misused the word, but I'm a decently smart fella, so
No, I love
Yes.
that.
You got a leg up on the rest of us. Okay, so you start to sing a song I never heard before. I close my eyes. I wanna hear you sing some more. I love the notes you're playing. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
This is an interesting. See, now we really are at like a. I feel like now we're really in the song. So it's
Well,
okay.
this
So
is-
what happens is this is where it turns into something.
well, you already said it earlier. Burt Bacharach, baby.
You just
I'm
tie
tie it
So
down.
what does that mean? What does Burt Bacharach-ing
Yeah, I think
mean to you?
You just tie it down to the deck now. It's all there. The whole color of that song is that major 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to just accept that this is a easy little peaceful fella. And you just put her to bed. You know?
You sing sweetly to it and watch it go down. Yeah.
That's right.
At this point, I would bring this into Kenneth and he would go, yeah, cool idea. Here's
gotta
all the
go.
things we should do to make it better.
Because rather than you start to sing. Is that what you do?
That's my classic
The Adam
one note.
Sandler.
Like,
You start to sing.
well, you,
Song I never heard before. Yeah.
I don't know that I was singing it like that, but that is technically that is the melody.
to sing. You start to sing.
We got shot.
Oh my god.
You start to sing.
Yeah.
A song I never heard before.
I mean, it explains why you're not doing any of the, the singer's not doing any of the work, why they're laying out, if that's the voice singing it, the sentence of, I love how
you're
you
just
sound
getting
when I
meaner
get out
now.
I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Oh, you're saying because I
It's like
sound
a
this.
meta version of the
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it just want you.
Well, another one of our classic.
You start to sing.
Another one of our classic disagreements is I love a one-note melody that the chords change underneath, and Kenneth has a allergic reaction to those things.
I like that too.
Mm.
Which one?
You start to sing.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, you start to sing a song I never heard before.
You don't like going up there?
I close my eyes. I wanna hear you sing some more. I love the notes you play.
So that part I was a little unsatisfied with because it feels the same.
I love it how you sound when I get out of the way.
Yeah,
the
maybe,
first line of the B section needs a different melody.
Yeah, because it has the same chords. I like that it has the same chords. I like that those kind of blend. Blurring. I love blurring the lines between sections.
Well, let's hear Pete's take on it. He's a good.
Yeah, what would you do,
singer.
Pete?
I'm
your
I'm
instinct?
thinking it's interesting because I think there's what Kenneth, what you went. What I would do if basically I think we're either going down on the first and the third one or the second and the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
So that one you went down to the F sharp, the first one. So if you were gonna go down again, I would go like, you start to sing.
Cool.
A song I'd never heard before, and I close my eyes. I wanna hear you sing some more.
Right.
So it's like
Great.
the first and third go up, and the second it doesn't go down to that F sharp until the last one, and then that leads us into whatever the next part is. Is that just
Yeah.
another set of options?
I think
the next part.
What do you?
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's not a right answer.
No, there isn't.
My instinct is I like the first line being that stronger melody where it's
Going
like,
down, yeah. You start to sing. So maybe then,
and then
if we're
you can
gonna do
accommodate it in the second line.
that, a song I never heard before. Heard before.
Heard before.
Yes.
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
a
That's
song
it.
I never heard before.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, and then down again. So I close my eyes.
And this fourth one can actually go down also.
You sing some more. And right,
I
and then
think,
this is the
'cause
lift.
It changes it. Yeah.
And then I think that needs.
Well, it could be a totally different thing, like Sean said. Just take
a
it into a
whole
different.
different-
Well, I
a
mean,
whole different
it's not
zone,
like
yeah.
rewriting music, but rather than working in those
Different
same
chord,
yeah.
themes. No,
Yeah.
no, just ascend the whole line. I love the notes you play.
I like that. Yeah.
You sound when I get out of the way.
I like that dominant seven. That kind of like old country-ish approach to it.
I love the notes you play.
Yeah.
That's beautiful scale.
I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
I like that. Love
Yeah,
how you,
that was almost.
love how you sound when I get out. Maybe lean on that one too. When I
Great.
get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so then I guess the next decision is what's the second verse? What's the second verse about?
Well, historically, Joey will write that, and then we won't do anything for a few years, and then I'll rewrite that, and then it'll be all good.
Well, listen, that's how you guys do it, and that's great. But here at Before Your Very Ears, we got to finish the damn song.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is that what the podcast is called? You never told us what
Called
what it's
Finish
called.
the Damn Song?
No, it's called Before Your
Before
Before
your
Your-
very ears.
Before Your Very
Great.
Ears.
What a great title.
Yeah.
Well,
you
can listen to our podcast, Finish the Damn Song.
Yeah.
Coming out on Odyssey.
So, like, I mean, the sentiment, obviously, like we talked about earlier, can be transferred to a million other, a bunch of other things. I like the idea of, I mean, the first one's sort of obviously it's not a romantic necessarily relationship, but we could
What about
do
you
something that has
start to
to do.
smile, a smile I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like becomes a little sad.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
When it's like the person's only going to be happy when you get out of the way.
That's good. I like that line. You smile, a smile I've never seen before.
you
Can I
start-
request that you follow it up with something strangely specific that nobody really knows about or can understand?
Sure.
Great. Go ahead and write that.
Like what?
Go ahead and write that.
I don't know. You could use a proper noun, or you could like reference something that's unrelated, but just so that it's not some like platitude that feels like a self-help book. Because in the sense that writing a song with 4 people like maybe necessarily isn't about anything, at least we could give the illusion that it's about something.
I love this.
But Joey got the first line of the second guy too.
You smile. You start to smile. A smile I've never seen before.
A smile I've never seen before.
How about I close my eyes silently, I close the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Keep it in the, now it's tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to smile, a smile I've never seen before. I close my eyes, silently I close the door.
Yeah, Walt Whitman over here. We got it. Keep going.
Quietly or silently? Silently was a little clunky.
Quietly. I was just feeling that too.
Yeah, because silent means no sound, but quiet means some sound, but not much. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Hey, we don't know
next episode,
tableau,
let's
but
Tell me,
we know
Sean-
some of the words.
Sean Webster Watkins over
Yeah.
here.
Just felt the need to just reclaim defining words in the in the pod, which is good. And then
I like the meaning of silently better, but I didn't love how it sang just now.
yeah, I agree.
Pete, sing it.
You start to smile, a smile I've never seen before. So I close my eyes, and quietly I close the door.
I like silently.
Silently?
Yeah, I think so. Try it with silently in your voice.
I close my... Oh, in my voice.
Yeah.
I close my eyes.
That's better.
Silently I close... You can really pull that word across.
Yeah. Now try it in like Springsteen voice. See, that's
I don't know if I have a good Springsteen. Blow out these preamps.
So what's the next lyrics?
Silently is nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Just, I mean, really, just the first 2 lines would need to.
Well, this is like a simple little ditty, eh?
yeah.
This is just like a
But
glimpse.
now it's saying. But now we're saying goodbye. So I think these should be in the past tense, like something.
Well, without getting.
go
So
ahead.
here's the issue, is that in songwriting, people get this notion that they're going to repeat the chorus and change just one word, and it's going to change the
Right.
meaning of everything, and that's always dog shit, because then you go play it at a concert and you realize your entire audience just gravitated to the one that's actually more meaningful and hits them, and nobody cares about your tiny little slight. So, but with that said, something clearly has
You're
changed.
saying we could just say the same
Good-
thing again.
No, we should
We
do
should
it
change
and
more.
change it, but we should change more than just like tense,
Yeah.
or change more than just one word.
So
but
No,
like,
I'm
I
saying we
love
change
this
the
and I love
entire.
that.
We change those entire first 2 lines and only keep the 3rd line,
Yeah.
or maybe just keep.
but I think it
I
should be
love-
based on that thing. It should.
Right.
It can be I love something else, or it could be I.
I think maybe we get rid of the I love this and I love that, and it's
cool.
just because my instinct here actually
Or
is
if
now
we're
to
loving-
put it in storytelling, and like silently I close the door. Okay, now like
What happens next?
you're walking out. like you're setting a scene now, maybe it's wintry.
If it was me and I was not overthinking it, I would take your note, which is changed tense, and so sing "I loved," but not sing "I loved the notes you play." I would sing about something new that they haven't heard about that I loved. That implies that the thing
still
is gone.
loved.
Yeah, that's fine, and change it to the past tense. Just I'm taking your note as like, what's the next part of the story? That's great.
Yeah,
but you're still in the emotional space of like the first time you loved, the second time you loved, and that's
right.
the switch to the past tense is pretty strong if the imagery follows
And
that.
for our purposes, it is a chorus, so
you're gonna have to enunciate
starting
that,
I
that
love.
D.
Well, assuming I'm singing it. Well, this is the hardest part, actually, just landing the last 3 lines, because the rest is so good.
And it's connecting it to if we're gonna keep "When I Get Out of the Way," which I'm assuming we want to keep that line.
Yes.
That really is the chorus.
Yeah.
So we
When I
don't
Get Out
have
of
to
the way,
stick
like
to
we
the
just
love.
have to figure out how to connect. If that second verse is a leaving verse, then we have to
Why
figure out
can't
a way for us to not for the singer to not sound pathetic. Like, I love how you look when you love someone else, or I love.
Yeah.
Honestly, so the chorus could be the same though. You start to smile, a smile I've never seen before. I close my eyes silently. I close the door. I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I get out of the way. Like I had to leave for you're better without me.
Right.
Well, should we try it that way and see what it sounds like?
I don't know if it actually makes the impact of all that meaning, but that would be the meaning.
Want to try it?
Sure.
Try it. Pete, you sing it?
Whole song?
Yeah.
Get a little tiny retune here. That's fine.
I left you for your own good.
You start to sing. That's it, right?
Yep.
A song I've never heard before. So I close my eyes. I wish you'd sing some more. I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I get out of the way. You start to smile, a smile I've never seen before. So I close my eyes, and silently I close the door. I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Yeah.
And then Sean Watkins takes a skate.
Back in.
No, then the pedal steel guitar player takes a skate.
Right.
Oh, I thought we had to be back in with the lyrics for that B section because we don't have another verse unless we're writing one.
We'll try another way.
Here it just comes in right here.
That's another way.
Yeah, that's true.
I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I. That needs to be longer, I think. The way.
Another line there
Maybe
for the
one
last
more?
for the last chorus.
Okay.
I love the notes you play. too much to do there?
I think at the end,
Just
just
do it.
adding a second line in the middle.
The notes you play. There's a fear that I can say. I love the sound when I get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is so close.
I feel like there's a tiny. I think that. What do you think about, Joe? What do you think about the chorus thing? Do you guys think the chorus works the same each time? Or you think you gotta?
Oh, but yeah, I liked it.
Did
Just
it feel,
fine
Did
that
it feel
way.
good to you
I don't
guys?
think it needed
it feels
anything.
to me. It feels. It doesn't feel like a cop out. It feels like it just adds some mystery to it. Like why? Like I love the notes you play, and like it feels like we're singing about something, and we are. But it's not pointing directly to a romantic. I like that it's not using. I'm leaving romantic leaving language. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is a production, like feeling how it would actually be produced, like that's that some orchestral feeling, beautiful thing happening there as like a response to that, so that it feels like it's the same words, but you're getting something that's kind of like talking back to you. I think would be fully enough to make you understand you're in like a different feeling space.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to go there.
Yeah.
I agree. Singing it was hard to tell. It's like I think this works. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's strong enough.
And as far as the 7 chord, so that's happening. That's happening kind of only when there's a repeat of the last line. When I get out of the way.
Well, it's happening to get us out of the first chorus as like just a new thing that gets us out of the first chorus back into the like reset of the song.
Right.
And then in my mind, like the first half of the instrumental is is very Harry Nilsson, Glenn Campbell, and the second half is very like John Huey pedal steel. At the end, it goes to Pete's weird 7 chord that'll make it feel like we drive out to the desert.
Yeah. Totally.
And then at that point,
we come back.
then it comes back for this last chorus that has an added line, one little reveal of mystery, and then the song's done.
Cool.
I love that.
Right?
I like that.
Isn't that fun? Because there's just these events happen.
Yeah, and it only really, like, the harmony only really feels like it takes a real turn in that moment where we're already in ethereal land, and then we snap back in.
Yeah.
So maybe
That, and I'm really having fun playing the baritone bass.
I know.
Because to me it sounds like
70s recorded bass, like Glenn Campbell
How
bass.
about
Or
in
like
the
60s.
last
It sounds
last
like-
chorus, it could be that extra line to be, I love the notes you play and the smile on your face. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
what is it?
I love the notes you play and the smile on your face. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Oh right, referencing
Like
that
you sing
lost
beautiful
smile.
and you smile
sort of
when I'm gone.
sort of a quick recap.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's good.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Recap.
So did
You
you
don't
write
need to
that?
add any new. We're not trying to advance the story.
No, we're not.
That's a kind of
This is a emotion. This is a Orbison one nugget
snapshot. Yeah.
Well, if you went I love the way you sing, smile on your face.
Yeah.
It's a little. I like that. Yeah.
Do it again.
Well, we all like the Beatles, so
Throw in a little bit.
Um,
When there's really.
yes, just
It
minor
is
2,
an
5, minor 6, major 2, and then to the minor 2.
Yeah.
Love how you sound when I
Great.
get
I wonder
out
if
of
there's a
the way.
Smile
On your face.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's another note we can. The smile.
With a harmony though.
Oh yeah.
That could be the melody.
Your face.
Yeah,
Oh
great.
yeah. Cool.
I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's run it down. Joey's leaving. We don't need him for anything.
Get out of the way.
Joe's really walking the walk here.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
to sing a song I've never heard before. So I close my eyes. I wanna hear you sing some more. I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I get out of the way. You start to smile, a smile I've never seen before. So I close my eyes and silently I close the door. I love the notes you play. I love how you sound when I get out of the way. I love how you sound when I get out of the way. I love the notes you play and the smile on your face. I love how you sound. I love how you sound. I love how you sound when I get out of the way.
Nice one, fellas.
And there we have it.
Nice one.
Before Your Very Ears is produced, recorded, and edited by us, Sean Watkins and Pete Harper, at Hail Marie Studio in Los Angeles, California, and is a co-production with New Psyche Records. If you'd like to contact us directly with any questions or comments, you can email us at byve@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at Before Your Very Ears. If you'd like to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/Before Your Very Ears to sign up and gain access to extra content, including full unedited episodes. Thanks so much to Premier Guitar for graciously hosting us on their stellar podcast network, and to Berklee College of Music for sponsoring this episode. And last but far from least, thank you so much to all you listeners. We really appreciate it. See you next time.